So I got Calvin Johnson here. He's back, and it's a good time to have Calvin Johnson because I don't know if you've heard, but Matt Stafford used to play for the Lions.
Matthew
Stafford.
That's a good place to start.
Yeah. So did you call him Matt or Matthew?
I was notorious for calling him Matt. I know he doesn't like Matt. But he never said anything to me about it until like later in his career. I think it was actually Kelly. I think it's actually Kelly that said something like, "Call him Matthew. He doesn't like Matt."
Well, that's the ultimate respect for you to not correct you for 8 years. I mean, Matthew. I fucked up the Matthew thing with Matthew McConaughey. He came on the show and I called him Matt, and he corrected me on the spot, like right off the rip. Like 3 seconds into the interview. And that was like getting a touchdown scored on you on the opening drive. Like the rest of the interview, I was just nervous as hell. So make sure at home if it's a Matt or a Matthew, depending on who you're referring to. Were you jealous of some of the breakfast stuff this year? Like Matthew and Cooper getting breakfast every day. Did y'all used to get breakfast, or did you hit up Matthew and were you like, what the fuck, dude? We never used to get breakfast.
I missed that one. That one went over my head. Like, yeah, what happened? Matt breakfast every morning.
Right.
Well, maybe because Calvin was 6'5", 240 and the best receiver in the game, they didn't need to like talk about route running.
Yeah.
Just throw it up.
They just threw it up. I don't know. The cup thing, I knew. So when Matthew got there, I was like, all right, somebody's going to eat here. And it's probably Robert Woods. But the Cooper thing kind of came out of nowhere for me. Does it surprise you they had such a great connection, and why do you think that is?
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, I don't know Cooper at all, but from what I've seen, Cooper seems like he's an intelligent football player.
Yeah.
And two, seems like an extremely hard worker, and it seems like he's going to, be the quarterback's best friend, as far as doing exactly what Matthew needs him to do, understanding his leverage and being where he needs to be at the time he needs to be there. That's what strikes me with him. And obviously when Robert went down earlier in the year, he had the whole load on his shoulders at that point. Obviously they had Van Jefferson. Shout out to Van. That's my old receiver coach's boy.
Oh yeah. His dad coaches.
When he was waist high, Matthew and I were out there throwing the ball around. So to see Matthew throwing him touchdown, that goes full circle.
Damn, dude, that'll make you feel old a little bit. The kids are now in the NFL. Is Kupp the best receiver in the game to you?
I mean, before this year, I wouldn't have said it.
Right.
Before this year, I would be leaning more towards DeAndre or Devontae up in Green Bay. But, I mean, you can't – it's hard to – I mean, one, obviously, he needs to come back and do it again next year. Obviously, that's a hell of a year. It's going to be hard to replicate that. But have that same – have success in the same manner. It's probably going to be hard if Robert Woods and stuff like that comes back. Obviously, you got Odell there. But just to have success, come back and put together another 1,000-yard year and just keep on stacking them up, I don't see that being a problem for Coop, especially with Matthew out there.
You were sweating a little bit on the record, but still, it's one more game.
Right.
But it's one more game. So how do you take that?
Either way, I mean, it would have held up. But yeah, we know it's not the same exact thing, obviously, because we only did it we had 16 games versus the 17 they have now.
With OBJ, they might bring him back next year. They probably bring him back next year. I don't know how that whole thing fits, but I was surprised that they would figure it out this quickly. Like, it's a really tough thing to not only lose your X factor like Robert Woods and then add a new piece that you have to, with all this pressure, like everybody's watching is. If this doesn't go well, they're probably going to blame Matthew, not Odell, and it went really well. And I just wonder if you thought it would go this well, or what do you think went into him integrating into that offense?
Had no idea. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know Odell either. All I know is what you might hear, and I don't even look at that stuff too much. But, just really when I saw him go out there, I was just saying, I hope he's healthy because Matthew's going to get the guy the ball. Matthew is going to get to you wherever you got to be, wherever you are on the field. And if you're healthy, you're going to have some success. So seeing him healthy, it brings back the old Odell, the Odell we love to see before all the injuries, man. And I think that if he's able to stay out there, he's going to have some good years ahead of him too.
Has Matthew always been that good against the blitz, man? Like, because that's been the thing. I mean, you try not to heat him up because he'll step up, and he made some really clutch plays in third and medium conversion situations down the stretch. Has he always been this clutch to you? And is it a thing where like people are better off just sitting back?
You're not better off sitting back. You're not. But Matthew will pick you apart too. You just got to pick the right blitz, really. I mean, you got to get after the quarterback. You just let him sit back there. He's going to do his thing all day if he's not uncomfortable at all. But Matthew, from back when we were here in Detroit, man, I can't think of how many games we came back and won in the third or fourth quarter, and we might have been down by a little bit. And or either on that last drive of the game, Matthew has probably at least 30 fourth quarter comebacks. I'm happy to be a part of a good bit of those because it was a heck of a feat just to see him in action, and obviously the rest of our team, nut up and make it happen.
I can help you with the Matt Matthew thing.
Yeah.
Call him Leo.
Leonardo DiCaprio, because he said that if there's a movie about the Rams this year, that he is going to be played by Leonardo DiCaprio. Does Matthew think he's good looking?
Does Matthew let's start there. Does Matthew think he's good looking? I'm not going to throw no shade on Matthew, but I'm happy for Matthew because Matthew, when he first came into the league, Matthew was a little cheesy, man. Hey, Matthew, he was more than cheesy. Matthew was more than cheesy when he came into the league. If you go back and look at some of those pictures, he still got those little baby fat cheeks,
Oh yeah, college. It's the college beer drinking cheeks, dude. Like
that is it.
We all had them. I mean, some of us had them. And then he used to always all he used to rock is the backwards New Era hat, like just a Lions hat or a Tigers hat backwards. Has he upped his fashion for the LA scene?
Matthew's upped his fashion. He's trimmed up a couple years ago. So, I'm thoroughly proud of Matthew, man. Looking back at the day, like, Matthew, you come a long way, man.
He definitely has. But same dude. I'm glad the world gets to see, because there was so much pressure on him. I felt like everybody was rooting for him. And in the middle of the year, it was like he was maybe hurt. I think he was hurt. I know, he doesn't want to say he's hurt, but I think he was banged up, which comes with territory. And people jumped off the wagon, and now they're back on for him. So I hope he finishes strong. I think he answered all the questions he needed to answer, whether he wins this game or not. You talk about a cameo for Calvin Johnson in the Matthew Stafford Rams movie. There's another Detroit cameo this weekend, and it's Eminem. Eminem is going to be on site. Did you ever see Eminem at a Detroit game? I heard a rumor that he used to go and wear a mask, to hide his face, and he'd sit in the stands, wear a Halloween mask or something. Did he come around after games?
I never really saw him after games. I did a little shoot with him one time, but that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I might have to try that. Throw on a little mask, and I can go to the game and enjoy myself.
Is that what it's going to take? Because I saw in January, you guys posted a picture with you in the stands, and it was pretty cool. And then I got to see you, the Hall of Fame thing. Of course, the owner got booed, and it's never pretty in Detroit. But what would it take to get you back? Really getting down to brass tacks. What would it take to get Calvin Johnson in the stands here?
Oh, to actually go to a game?
Yeah, to go to a Lions game, to go all the way back in. Because Dan, there's some positivity there. I mean,
I went to a game last year.
How was it?
When Justin, it was in typical Lions fashion. That's the one when Justin Tucker hit the historic field goal off the goalpost.
God, you probably should stay home. You probably should stay home, dude.
That's what I was like. Cardiac cats.
Cardiac cats, dude. That's incredible. There's the one game you saw. What a kick that was. I hate to say it. So then the question will be then, this is actually, you can bet this. Will Eminem have on a Lions jersey at the Super Bowl? It's plus 500 on a yes and no, minus 1,000. I would take the odds on yes. I feel like he might do that.
Man, I don't recall seeing Eminem wear too many jerseys. You usually see him in all black, with his chains and jeans on.
Yeah, but this is this halftime show is an early 2000s thing, dude. We're back in high school. I was reading this lineup, Dre, Snoop, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, of course Kendrick's newer, and I'm really glad he's up there. But I feel like some of the fashion choices of the early 2000s could follow these guys. You might have some lowriders out there. You can bet that too. I think jerseys are back in. I think Jay-Z organized this whole thing. You could see Hove in a jersey.
You might, but I don't feel like there's too much drip coming off of a Lions jersey.
There is no drip. Actually, there is a lot of drip. I think the throwbacks are very nice.
It would have to be Barry Sanders.
It'd have to be a Barry Sanders era jersey. Yeah, there's a lot of drip on that jersey. 100. Okay, so then who performs first? Because you can bet this too. Who's going to come out of the gate? Yeah, you can bet this too. Dr. Dre plus 150, Eminem plus 250, Kendrick 370, Snoop plus 160, and Mary J. Blige plus 300. Who do you think comes out of the gate? Because Dre's the favorite here with the whole LA thing.
That's tough. I would think that, one of the LA guys would want to like bring it home, close it out. I'm hoping that's Kendrick. I can't wait to hear Kendrick
again. I love
again.
Kendrick. Yeah.
I'm thinking that the ladies will go first.
That was my bet, Mary J. Blige. And it's good odds for you. I mean, so 3-1, depending on where you can get it. If you can get this bet, I think I agree with Calvin. Mary J. Blige. Will Snoop light a blunt or have a blunt? Is it light a blunt or smoke a blunt, Reed, or is it have a blunt? Smoke a blunt.
Awesome. That'd be awesome. I'll be there with you, Snoop. I'll light up with you, man.
Snoop is plus 170 to light a blunt. He's plus 170 and minus 250. I say that's easy. Make, what do you say?
I think he might do a marijuana cone. I don't know.
He doesn't smoke. Calvin, he doesn't smoke. He won't smoke. Maybe Calvin could convince you to loosen up and try it.
Yeah, what's the 30-second elevator pitch for cannabis for a non-cannabis user?
I got you. It's simple. What do you know about your endocannabinoid system?
Not a thing, my friend.
There you go. That should spark your interest and want to look into your endocannabinoid system and learn how cannabis interacts with the body.
Naturally.
Okay.
It's there for a reason.
Yeah.
It's there for a reason.
Yeah.
That didn't sound very convincing.
Well, no, he's a motherfucker to convince now of anything.
I've been on this planet.
He's been high because he sits next to me every day at work, but
I'm really just embarrassed that I've been around 35 some odd years and wasn't aware I had an endocannabinoid system.
All right,
that's a new word. Okay.
We'll get back into the marijuana another time. But yeah, Calvin makes a good pitch. I think you've got some homework to do.
I can see Eminem in only one jersey. It's Detroit Pistons Rasheed Wallace.
Ooh, that's tight.
Yeah,
I like
that's
it.
Tight.
That's dope.
I like the Portland Trailblazers, Rasheed Wallace. Sorry, Detroit. Give me your perfect Super Bowl, Calvin, because you never got to go to one. You deserve it. We're gonna officially give you the Calvin Bowl. Like, you pick the city, the halftime show, the team you're playing against, and of course you also have to pick the team you're playing for. There's no given that it's Detroit.
Okay. So I'm in Detroit. We make it to the Super Bowl. We're playing at home. We're playing in Atlanta at the brand new stadium.
Ooh.
We got Outkast performing. You got T.I. performing. You got Jeezy performing. You got Migos performing. Cardi B. Yeah, that's a hell of a cast. I think I need some more women in there. I definitely need some more women in there. Some more Atlanta women artists.
Well, we got time. We got time. But so what's Outkast coming out with? First song.
Bombs Over Baghdad. We're doing bombs today. And then who we playing? Who would I want to play? I would have wanted to beat Tom Brady, the greatest of all time.
There you go. You sure you want to play with the Lions? Because I don't know. Brady, I feel like, hey, Brady, when he retired, were you shocked, dude? Because I feel like you retired early. Okay, like, you're one of the most famous guys who retired early, had a lot left to give to the game. Brady retired early. Like, I feel like Brady at 44, he could have played another 5 years. Were you surprised seeing that?
I honestly was, as far as they got, I feel like, they could get right back to where they were next year and maybe even add a couple pieces.
Right.
So, I really honestly thought that, they would be right back in the NFC Championship with the team that they had. So I was kind of surprised.
What's your advice for him, like, first year of retirement? Because you've been through it and you were still really good and you knew you could go back.
And enjoy it. That's what I look forward to, just not having to wake up at 5:30 every morning. Enjoy it. Enjoy your family. Obviously take a dope ass vacation, but I think that for him, find a way to, better the lives of your brethren that came out of the league. I think that's the big thing for us guys that are, been leaders that are just trying to, do right. Just try to find a way to better the lives for the guys that are coming out of the league. Like, there's some things that we're doing too, but just trying to serve our brothers.
Maybe get behind the cannabis research for pain that the NFL just rolled out. Yeah,
TB12.
TB12 method.
Incorporate the endocannabinoid system into the TB12.
That's the CL56 method.
Yeah, there you go.
That's actually. Did you know it's hard to get COVID if you've been smoking? Did you know
I've been reading up I've been seeing a couple articles like that.
Yeah, we're double vaxxed. We're triple vaxxed. I mean, okay, you're walking around here just raw dog COVID. Everybody in the studio, I've been trying to vaccinate you guys. You're welcome. Okay, all right. Jamar Chase, dude. Like, it's funny because when the Lions snagged you and Matt, like that's like a Burrow Jamar Chase duo, like, and that's a great compliment to those two. But that costs a lot more money back in the day. They were able to get a lower cap hit with the new CBA, the whole thing. They skipped drafting a tackle. They said, fuck this. We're going to throw the ball around the yard like it doesn't matter. What do you see when you see Jamar Chase? And if you're the Rams, what do you do to take him away? Is it just put Ramsey on him?
One person can't stop him. I mean, any given day, I mean, a receiver that is on point, gotta feel like, hey, I can't be stopped on any route. And I truly feel like he probably feels that way, especially with the hell of the year that he's had so far. You got to bracket him. You got to keep a cloud over him, keep a triangle around him at all times. Linebacker, two safeties. Linebacker, corner, safety. Just keep him within that triangle at all times, kind of like they did me most of the time.
Right.
When I was in Detroit.
How do you bust out of a triangle? Like, they never made a triangle for me. Sometimes I could slide. But when they put a triangle around you, like, what are the routes? Like, how do offenses crossers?
Yep, you got to play out the slot. Playing out the slot, you could attack 4 different ways. But when you're on that sideline, you're that number one and number 2 receiver. You got that sideline as an extra defender, so you can be pinned against that. Then you got the corner, safety, and linebacker pushing at you from the inside out. So it can make it tough on you when you're just staying on the outside.
Would you have liked to play Jalen Ramsey? I mean, like a big corner like that. I just love his game. That would be a really fun matchup to see. How do you attack a big corner like that?
Just be physical. And then use your body, use your leverage, you can use your weight. That's when I'm playing big guys, they're going to grab, and it's harder to see when you got those 2 big bodies running along with each other.
Yes.
So then you got to use your body, use your weight to separate.
So you got to fight the strength with the strength. You don't get finesse with a big corner.
Yeah, keep his hands off of you at the right time. At the break, he can hold on all he wants, but at the time of the breakdown, when you're trying to separate, you got to get his hands off of you so he can't pull along with you. Okay,
so the coach of this game, Sean McVay, were you on marijuana when he beat you out for State Player of the Year? Because that's the only. Were you high at your games for Sean McVay to beat you? My mama would have killed me if I was smoking in high school, cannabis in high school. She didn't run you out of the house. I wouldn't be here today. Me neither. Me neither. But it would have been my dad. You know what? I was talking to somebody about this earlier, and I realized why I've never heard of this until I was in the NFL when he came on the scene. So this was new news. When I found out about it. So I found out today why I hadn't heard about it back then was because he graduated in 03. I graduated in 04. Right. And the reason why I was like, okay, every year when you're a senior in high school, they have like the Super 11 out of Georgia, like the top athletes in the state. And he wasn't on that list. I'm like, where all this stuff come from? I don't even know this guy. Oh, and I realized today that, okay, he was an 03 guy. That's incredible, though, that Sean McVay, out of all the great athletes in Georgia, found a way to win that. Damn, I never would have pegged that, dude. That was pretty amazing. And you know what it is? I mean, Marist was winning championships like left and right at that time, so they're getting all the publicity. They're pretty good. Go ahead.
When you're growing up, getting all these accolades throughout high school, are you just dreaming of one day putting on the Russell Athletic?
Georgia Tech.
Y'all did. I mean, you can go wherever you like, but you're thinking no.
No, I want to go to Georgia Tech and wear the R.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, so this story. Honestly, when I went to college, I went because I was like, hey, if I graduate from Georgia Tech, I can work wherever I want. Football really wasn't in the picture. Going to the NFL wasn't really. Yeah, I want to do those things, but I had other things that were in front of it.
Right.
But wearing the R, when I did get there, I was like, I thought we might have Nike because they had Nike cleats. I thought they might have had Nike jerseys, but at least it was stitch on. They're stitch on letters. So at least I had that.
They were technically stitch on.
And the 21. The 21 looked good.
21 looked awesome. Yeah. 21 looked awesome. They had Ball and Johnson in the backfield there.
That's right.
Ball and Johnson. Reggie Ball. What's he doing now?
Reggie is he has a gym, so he's training kids now, so that's pretty cool. I actually saw him a couple months ago.
He was a hell of a player. Georgia Tech was good, man. They were good. Yeah. Now the Russell Athletic thing's not great, but Wyoming was New Balance.
That's right.
Okay, we got beat by Wyoming up in Laramie. Yeah, it's real ugly. Brown and yellow
How is that possible? How did
New Balance? I don't know.
Did the jerseys and uniforms fall apart?
It's bad, dude.
Would you have made that same decision? You played under Chan Gailey if
is a good question.
Paul Johnson were there and there were a triple option, because they still turned out great receivers, but you're getting about 3 targets a game.
I mean, honestly, the reason I did, I went. Part of the reason I went to Georgia Tech was because they did have coaches, Chan Gailey, the receiver coach, Buddy Guys. Those guys that coached in Dallas. You know, they coached the Aikmans and Irvins and stuff like that. So they had some experience. You know, the professional experience. So I thought that was valuable.
So something that's before I let you go, we got a couple like kind of current event things. Pro Bowl popped up. You went 6 times. Pro Bowl Sunday. Now it's like tag, and I totally get it. Like when we turn it on TV, I don't remember. Did you ever get hit in the Pro Bowl?
When I was playing, I played, I went to the Pro Bowl my first year, and after that, I did have a medical excuse every other year. But my first year, there was some tackling. Guys were like, obviously, like, hey, you know, you can see that there was like, we ain't trying to go all in, but we do got to play football here. But what I saw the other day, I was scratching my head. I was like, damn, like. Man, they don't tackle anymore.
There is none of that.
They might as well just put on the flags. Like.
Yeah, exactly. They really should. And that's why we were saying we were floating like a skills competition. Like maybe you do more interesting shit off the field to draw fans into watching it, because that is like it's basically a skills competition at this point. I had one idea. Oklahoma between coaches that have grudges to settle. How good is that, huh? Like I would tune in. You would tune in.
Heck yeah. Okay,
Schwartz Harbaugh. What do you think? Who do you think wins that drill? Jim Schwartz, our friend Jim Schwartz, or Jim Harbaugh? The battle of the Jims.
Battle of the Jim. I'm gonna go with Schwartz just because I don't know nothing. I don't know Harbaugh at all.
You scouted Jim.
I'm not a huge Michigan fan either.
You scouted Jim. Yeah.
I'm going with Jim.
Okay, good.
I'll go with Schwartz.
Okay, give me this one then. Vrabel or Dan Campbell?
Linebacker versus tight end. So I know for a fact that Dan Campbell is a tough SOB. You know, that dude is tough. I'm going to go with Dan. I'm going to go with Dan. I respect the heck out of Coach Vrabel.
Yeah, I mean, he's done that drill up in New England. We did that drill all the time the year I was like, man, we're really going back to like high school with some of these drills.
But Dan is going to bite your kneecaps.
So he's going to bite your kneecaps, which turned out to be a big fucking deal. Do you remember how everybody wanted to like run him out of the building for saying that? And then he turned out to be like maybe the best coach that got hired last year. Like all the players love him. Do you hear that the players love this guy as much as I assume?
I played with him. I knew they were going to love him. Like I said, he's a tough SOB because, he played with one shoulder in the NFL. So I knew the team was going to love him.
Okay, another hot topic here, tanking. Did you ever suspect it in Detroit? Now that I'm looking back after the Stephen Ross news in St. Louis, I'm kind of like, were we at times? Like, I don't know. Do you ever feel like in Detroit that, like, you wondered if we're trying to win?
I know for a fact we weren't trying to win.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
I'll create a whole storm if I go into that.
It's good.
I know for a fact.
So do I. For the record, in St. Louis, we were all trying to win, but I don't know if everybody in the building was 100% trying to win. I don't know. All right, and lastly, Olympic talk. You're a hell of a snowboarder. I think I don't know if I learned about this the last time we talked or what, but Vail or Breckenridge for you?
Vail.
Yeah, he's a Vail guy. He's a total Vail guy. Yeah,
2 weeks ago, I was out there.
You got something against the Breck? It's like too hippie.
I used to go. The Breck was like the beginner mountain, you know. And then I'm elevating, moving my way. I'm in Park City, I'm going to Vail, working my way up to Aspen.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right, so if you had to place, like, if baby Calvin Johnson was given a snowboard, do you think you could win a medal?
You goddamn right.
That's what I'm saying.
You goddamn right.
Sean,
I'm like, okay, I want to do the 360. I can do the 180. I do the big jump, but I just keep it straight and do a little tail grab, but I'm out here watching the Olympics, like that inspires me, but I'm going out here and F my knee up if I try to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's probably scary as hell. All that football, you have your injuries, and then imagine like just busting your shit doing a recreational thing like that. Does it hurt to snowboard?
When I put my topical on before and after I go, so it keeps the swelling down. I love it. It doesn't really hurt. I don't fall really. So, I got me some new step-in bindings. I love them. Like, I love it.
New
I can live
step-in
in
bindings. That's what we need. I'll be out there on the slopes, black diamonds, no problem. And then lastly, talk to me about Last Prisoner Project because, you know, I know you've been working on some serious stuff as well.
Yeah, man. Basically, you know, just they're going to be in existence really until all people that were affected disproportionately by cannabis and that being arrested, you know, all those people are out of jail. I mean, that's their mission is to really affect those people that have been disproportionately affected by cannabis. And it's pretty great to see, you know, one, that call to action, but to support it because, you know, seeing a guy like Michael Thomas, you know, be released from jail for, I forget how long he was in jail for a small, what today you wouldn't even go to jail for.
Right.
You know, there's still people in jail for stuff that you wouldn't go to jail for today. So it's very frustrating for me to be in this industry and to still see that there are people. I mean, not only black people, but there's white people too. There's Asian, all of you go through your DNI, but you know, just to see people still suffering when there's people out here actually having success in this industry, you know, that's it's backwards.
Yeah, it was bad a couple years ago, and now it's really bad because there's a lot of people profiting off it and a lot of people walking around without fear of, you know, any punishment. I'm walking around with an eighth in my pocket around town. I can't even imagine, and we're here, but there's people left behind. So where can they check that out, learn more about that?
That's LPP, lastprisonerproject.com. Yes, please check it out. They're doing a great service, and they would love any kind of support that they could get. You know, obviously we're ambassadors for them, and we'll continue to push that message.
What are you checking out? What are you going to read about, Make?
My endocannabinoid system.
Perfect.
Endo.
Yep.
Cannabinoid.
Endocannabinoid. That's absolutely solid stuff. Calvin Johnson, one of the best to ever do it. An awesome dude. Thanks for joining us again, man.
Thanks for having me, guys. Great to talk to you. Y'all be well.